Hello and welcome back to my craft room. It's almost the end of June, it's the 27th of June, so I should have nearly finished my Journal of Stitchery by now, and I am just about to start the last page, which I'm going to show you in a minute, but I thought I'll just show you what I've got so far. Here's my little ladybird book that I love, which I'm going to use for the covers. Obviously I will have to take it apart to do that, but I'm going to use a couple of the inside pages. I'm definitely going to incorporate this one somehow. I just love that. I love the illustrations in these little books, and I might I have shown that before, how scary, the stuff of nightmares, and these little cute projects for kids to do to learn to sew. Thought I would use one of these pages and mount it onto a piece of fabric and actually stitch into it. Yeah, that'd be quite fun, and maybe do that as my end page. Anyway, so that's what I'm using, and all of my colours for the fabrics and threads that I'm using, I've taken from this colour scheme. Okay, here's my first two pages, which are actually the stitch samplers. I need to bring it down a bit, don't I? There we go. And then that was the first proper page. I think it was Bouncing Bunny. And then Fantastic Flowers, or Fabulous Flowers. I'll maybe show these a bit better when I do the final flip through, which shouldn't be too long now. And then these were Beautiful Butterflies, or Bright Butterfly, and Country Cottage. So this was I think it was Beautiful Bird, and the background for this one, because you get two prompts, one for the background and one for the kind of theme or embellishment, and this one was to use your favourite colour for the background. Now I found that really hard. I got so many favourite colours, but in the end I thought, you know, green just goes with everything. Goes with everything in nature, just goes with everything. And I love green. So yeah, I used a lot of different shades of green. Then I decided it was all a little bit too green, and I had to sort of neutralise it a little bit with some sort of scraps of old muslin and more stitching over the top with old lace and stuff, like just tone it down a little bit. So yeah, my chicken has been cut out, and it doesn't want to focus, does it? So the chicken has been cut out of a little print of fabric, and then I've just done lots and lots of stitching over the top and around it. The chicken's comb and kind of wattle was cut from an old piece of lace. Yeah, so not a lot to say about it really. It's just yeah, just a lot of stitching. So for this final page, the prompt for the background was to use, was it hand painted or hand dyed fabrics? You know, I can't even remember now, but I decided ages ago I was going to make some attempt at kind of hand colouring some fabrics for my background. And then the theme was, or the embellishment was, a heart. So it's a really nice thing to finish on, and I think I'm just going to just embroider a little heart in the middle and fill it with some kind of stitching, maybe some turkey work, or I like doing colonial knots. I've really enjoyed doing those, so I might just fill it with it. It'll take a while, but it'll be a labour of love. Very appropriate for heart. So the way I'm going to colour some of these fabrics, I thought of all kinds of ideas, maybe actually doing a background shaped like a heart radiating out, or I don't know, I thought of all kinds of different things, but in the end I think I'm just going to make these little scraps of fabric look like old prints if I can. And I've done some experimenting on here already. I'm going to try using my Inktense pencils, and I've already given these little scraps of fabric a little spray with this stuff, the Clear Starch and Sizing Alternative. Not cheap, £5.20 this was, but it will go a long way. No clogging, no flaking, no residue. Completely acid free. Shake well, spray on fabric and then iron. Well, I haven't ironed it, I blasted it with my heat, with my, not my heat gun, my hairdryer instead. I just thought heat is heat, surely. Anyway, so I've done that just to give it a bit of a coating so it's less likely to spread outside of where I want the colour to go. And I'm also going to try this little tip that I saw somewhere. Use this little bowl to put it in. This little bowl is so cute, it gets used to everything. I need to give it a wash after this. So I've got this aloe vera gel. I thought I'll give this a try, because it'll be nice to use for moisturising the hands if it doesn't work for this. But it's supposed to help you to be able to activate these pencils, but so that they don't run, so that the colour doesn't run everywhere, because normally you'd activate them with water, but if you do that it just bleeds out all over the fabric. So I'm going to give this a go. Just going to squirt a little bit in there. I don't think I'm going to need very much. I don't know what it's like as a, what's it like as a moisturiser. My hands do get very dry. I've been spring cleaning this week. I'm always a bit late. Feels nice. It goes in really quickly. Okay. Right, so what I'm going to do is, some of them I'm just going to do spots, checks and stripes, and then I might just try a little spriggety flower one. Spriggety should be a word if it's not. So we'll see. And I've picked out, again looking at the colours on my cover of my little book, I've picked out a kind of rainbow of colours that you can see in that illustration. So let's start off simple. Let's just do some stripes. Oh, and I did find this little scrap of silk ribbon just threw itself at me, so I thought I might try colouring that as well, because that'd be a nice little way to finish the heart, wouldn't it? So yeah, I'm just going to do some spots and stripes and things. I wonder whether to tear this one in half. I might even be able to use bits of my tester one. Like if I just coloured them in fairly solid colour, I could use them as little scraps in between. So this is where I've tried doing little leaf shapes, and you can see that using the aloe vera gel, it hasn't really bled outside the line I was trying to stay in, so that's pretty good, encouraging. Let's try some stripes first. I'll do stripes in this lovely pink colour called Carmine Pink. My thing with Inktense pencils on paper or fabric is that once you activate them with water, or in this case aloe vera gel, the colour becomes much more intense and vibrant. They're actually you know, you think they're going to be like a watercolour pencil, and they kind of behave like a watercolour pencil, but it's not watercolours, it's ink. They just, once you activate them, basically they're turning into ink, so it's a lot more vibrant. Now these lines aren't going to be perfect, but that is fine by me. And then when I've made these little fabrics, little scraps, I'm just going to piece them together like I would any other little scraps of fabric. So this is the very last actual page in the book, but I've left my title page till last, so I still need to do my title page, and then I've got to take the covers off the little book that I'm using and make signatures. I think I'm going to make cloth signatures to attach all of my individual pages to, and then I'm going to see if I can do some kind of stitched binding to put them all together. I just thought a stitched binding seems appropriate as it's a Journal of Stitchery. So I might try Coptic binding, maybe. So here we go, I've done my little stripes. Let's see how that looks if I activate it with water. Probably come out really, really bright now. It's very satisfying waking up these colours with water or with aloe vera gel, as it turns out. Always very satisfying. A little bit like the feeling when you were a kid of doing those magic painting books, where you can faintly see the shape, but when you brush water over it, it's like all the colours come to life and the picture is revealed. The other thing I've got that I could try on fabric if this doesn't work out is I've got Pintor pens in lots of different colours now, so they work really well on fabric, so I could do that as well. I've seen some people on YouTube do the most amazing things with Inktense pencils on fabric. So if you're interested in that, just type that into the search box on YouTube, Inktense on fabric or something, and yeah, it's amazing what people do. One lady I was watching, if I can find her again I will leave a link. I was so impressed with what she was doing, but she uses a calico with a finish on it, which I couldn't find, so that's why I thought I'd try the spray starch. But it's not perfect, but I didn't want it to be. It's definitely not going outside the lines that I want. You can see where, so on that one you can see where the liquid part has gone outside, but I don't think the colour's actually travelling. Don't really understand it. Yeah, you can see there as well on that one. I think it's just the liquid. It will remain to be seen how it looks when it all dries up. Either way, I think this is going to work out. It might not be a perfect result, but I think for what I want, this is going to be fine. So I'm going to go ahead and do a few more now. I'll speed through this a bit and come back and see you in a minute when it's all finished. That's going to do exactly what I had in my head, but it might be quite pretty. I think in amongst everything else it'll be fine. My favourite one far and away is that one. That came out really well. It's crazy, isn't it, really, when I've just got so much odd bits of fabrics and stuff. Anyway, I really don't need to be doing this, but you know, it's quite fun to try. So if I put these together, but you can see that the colours are going to reflect the colours on this illustration, and the page will be going opposite this one, and they'll coordinate as well. I think I'll aim to have the heart in the middle. And one thing I really love doing is embroidering into the pattern that's on the fabric, so I shall do that on the patterns on the fabrics that I've created myself, just to embellish them. So I've got this one more piece to do, but I don't think you want to be watching any more of that. I will be back in a few days to show you how this all came together, and hopefully it will look something like it looks in my head, but you know. Sometimes when they don't work out like they looked in your head, they're better, aren't they? Oh, I forgot to do the ribbon. I should do the little bit of ribbon as well. Okay, right, that's just a quick look at where I'm at with this. I plan to have this finished within a week or two at the most, because I've got my title page to do, maybe 2 weeks, and then I'll come back and show you. Hope everybody's enjoying doing theirs. I love looking at all the different takes on this project. It's yeah, it's just so inspiring what people do, and yeah, I've had an absolute blast with this. I will make sure I leave a link to Roxy's Creations, where you can find all of the series of videos for this project, and yeah, they're an absolute joy to watch as well, so do check them out, and I will see you again really soon. Thanks for joining me today. Bye.